Welcome to Jefferson Highlights Community Television. I'm Lori Zook. My guests today are members of the Bleezarde family, and they're a very gifted musical family. And my first guest from that family is Ryan Bleezarde. Welcome to the show. Ryan, maybe you can give me a little bit of information about yourself first. How did you become interested in playing piano, and how long have you played?
Well, my whole family has always played. My older sister, who's here, and my older brother, who's not. So they probably just influenced me in some way. And my parents always just had us always learn piano. How long? Almost 5 or 6 years.
Wow, and your family also sings,
yes.
Correct? I think you all sing. What do you like most about playing the piano and music in general?
Everything. It's all, everything that you could possibly imagine. It's awesome.
How many songs have you composed? Because I know I've heard your music, and you're an amazing composer. So tell me a little bit about your compositions. How do you think them up?
I don't really. Sometimes I'll just play anything on the piano. I'll just feel like playing piano, and I'll just sit down and just start playing things, which eventually turn into songs.
Wow, and now I've heard you play, so I know that you memorize the songs, correct? How many songs have you composed?
I'm working on one right now, so that'd be 15.
Wow, that's a lot. What are some of the titles, and what kind of music is it that you compose?
Let's see. One of my favorite songs that I've composed is Carry Me Home, which is, I'm not sure exactly what style you'd say it is. I don't really know myself. But another one that I like is, it's called A Dreamer's Wish, which is, they're all pretty much the same style, you could say.
Similar somewhat to the Jim Brickman style?
A lot. Which I guess you could call it New Age Contemporary, I think.
Okay.
Which is my kind of style.
And do you write any of this music down at all?
No.
No.
I've never really had the chance.
So you just remember all of these songs, and what do you think you could potentially do with this music?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know right now.
Maybe it could be used for screenplays or for
commercials, maybe.
Or TV shows and things like that. Okay. And do you think music might be part of your career somewhere down the road?
Quite possibly, yes. I'm not completely sure, but most likely, yes.
And I know that I've seen you sing in your church pageant around the holidays. Maybe tell me a little bit about that and how you got involved in doing that.
Well, Amanda, my older sister, always sang, so I just wanted to kind of follow her, and I've always loved singing. So, and I really like acting as well, so that's where that kind of came from.
Do you plan on doing more of that, maybe outside of church at some point?
Hopefully. Any
possibility of going on professionally to a career in music?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know exactly how yet, but probably yes.
Something in that. And maybe tell me a little bit about your family. You know, I know you have a lot of brothers and sisters. You're a big family, and I think, if I remember right, didn't your grandparents or one of your grandparents also play?
I think so. My grandfather on my dad's side definitely did, and my great-grandmother, I think, did as well.
Okay. And would you have a favorite song that you've learned how to play?
Favorite song? There's one that I've always really, really liked, which is Rainbow Connection from the Muppets.
Oh, that's an excellent song. Now, do you also play classical music?
Yeah,
yes.
Some. Like, it's not my favorite thing, but I've played it, yeah.
And do you know a pretty good amount about music theory?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's not my best portion of the music, but I know some.
And do you like performing?
Yes, I like performing a lot.
Tell me, let's go back a little bit. Tell me more about your family. I know you have some members who are going to be appearing on today's show. What about some of the ones that are not? I know your brother, Matt, also plays guitar, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about him, since your whole family is so musical.
Well, he's at college right now, but he's been playing for longer than me. I'm not sure exactly how much piano he actually plays, but I know he plays guitar a lot, and he plays guitar very, very well.
Wow. And what's he going to school for?
English, I think he's majoring in.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure.
But he's still playing the guitar,
definitely.
Of course. That's fantastic. And what about your younger sisters?
Well, they'll probably play as well, but Johanna, who is 7, turning 8, I think, is almost there probably in a couple of years. And then Sarah, who is 5, turning 6, is actually, I saw her playing the piano a couple days ago. So.
Wow. Now, do you all sing?
Yes.
And do you all sing together?
Me and Amanda have done a couple of specials at our church, and all of us, except for Ben and Matt, obviously, but all of us sing in the church choirs.
Wow, that's great. And what about your parents? Do either of them play or sing?
They don't really play, no.
No, but they like to sing, so it would be great. You guys remind me of the Von Trapp family, as I always say, from The Sound of Music, because you have there are 7 siblings, and you're all very gifted. Well, I want to thank you very much for joining me today, and we'll be back in a moment on Jefferson Highlights Community Television.
What's up with the thing? Somebody left it on. Really? Yeah, it's been running all day. That's cool. Maybe we should do something. That's so not cool.
Don't just take a stand. Act.
Welcome back to Jefferson Highlights Community Television. I'm here today with 2 more members of the musically gifted Bleezarde family, Rachel and Ben, and welcome to the show. And Rachel, I'm going to start with you. How long have you been playing piano? Didn't you start taking lessons originally with your older sister Amanda for a couple of years?
Yes, that's right.
That's right, and we've been doing lessons since about September, correct? And what do you like most about playing piano?
Well, just really everything. It's really fun.
And
I like learning new songs.
And you've learned a lot of new songs since we've first started. You're pretty much on the fast track to being able to play like your older brothers and sisters. Name some of the songs that you like to play.
Well, my favorite song that I like to play is Bye Bye Love. And really I like playing Snake Dance.
Okay. And any more songs that you like to play?
No, not really.
Not really? Okay, that's okay. And you like to sing too, because I've heard you sing, and you have a pretty good singing voice, right? So do you like to sing and play at the same time sometimes?
Yes.
So that's pretty enjoyable. And now, you don't sing yet in church, but are you thinking about doing it? About singing in church?
Well, I do sing in the kids' choir in church.
Oh, okay. And is that the choir that your older sister is the director of?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And how many kids are in that?
About 15 or 16 maybe.
Wow. And do they practice a lot?
Yeah, every Monday night.
Wow. And to be a good piano player, do you think you have to practice a lot?
Yeah.
Pretty much every day? Well, great. Thanks for answering my questions. Let me go to Ben. How long have you been playing piano?
4 years, I think.
Wow, that's a long time. And what made you decide you wanted to play piano?
Well, just everyone else in my family did, and I just thought I would too.
Wow, and I've heard you many times, of course. You're very good. Do you sing a lot also?
Sometimes I like to sing.
Wow, now I've heard you sing in your holiday pageant. Do you also sing in the children's choir too?
No, I don't.
No, but you do like the pageant sometimes and special things?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay. And what do you really like? What's your favorite thing about playing music?
Well, just it's really nice, and I like the sound of the piano and stuff like that.
Good answer. Now I know that because I've heard you that you've also composed a lot of your own songs. Do you write your music down, or does it just, how does it come to you?
Just like sit down and start playing random notes, and then a song. Then sometimes a song might start.
Wow, that's fantastic. And how many songs have you composed?
About like 28 or 29.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of songs. Can you name some of your favorite songs that you've written?
Well, I like Dreamland. There's one that I wrote.
Okay.
And Swimming in an Ocean of Love.
Wow. Do you ever put words to the songs, or not right now?
Not right now.
But thinking about maybe doing it? Are you thinking maybe of becoming a professional musician or doing something with music when you get older?
Maybe, yeah.
Wow, because you'd be a very good composer. What inspires you to write the songs? What makes you think of how to write them and how to come up with the title?
Well, just think of something that you like. Stuff like that.
Okay. And you named already some of your favorite songs. Why are they so special to you?
I just like them.
You just like them?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good answer. And what else do you guys do for fun? What other hobbies do you have?
Well, I like to play video games, and I like to skateboard.
Okay. Are you pretty good at those too?
I'm good at video games, but not skateboard.
But not skateboard. Need a little more practice with that? And how about you, Rachel? What else is it that you like to do?
Well, I love like coloring pictures, and I love riding my bike.
Okay. And so you're artistically inclined? You like to do a lot of drawings and arts and crafts and things like that? Well, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you joined me today. And we'll be back in just a moment on Jefferson Highlights Community Television.
The greatest source of America's generosity is the good heart of the people.
In the aftermath of the devastating tsunami, we come to you not as presidents, but as two private citizens.
Everyone can help, and every dollar contributed will impact someone's life. So visit usafreedomcorps.gov to choose a reputable, authorized charity to accept your donations directly.
No one can change what happened.
But we can all change what happens next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Jefferson Highlights Community Television. Today I'm interviewing some of my piano students who are musically gifted, and they're all from the same family. And with me now is Amanda Bleezarde, the oldest member of the group of children, except that you're not a child anymore, although you were when we started lessons several years ago. Welcome to the show. And give me a little bit about your background, because before I even taught you, I know that you moved many times and you had many teachers, so maybe you could give me a little bit of background about that. And also how old you were when you started, how old you are now.
Well, my great-grandmother is the one who influenced us to play piano. The first piano we played on actually was given to us by her. It was originally a player piano before the World War II, and then during the war they gutted it and then turned it into a regular piano after the war.
Okay.
My grandfather and my father and my aunt and uncle played on it. It was given to us when I was 7, I believe. Yeah, I was almost 7, and so I've been playing for like 15 years.
Wow. And how many teachers did you have in the past?
6 sounds right. I'm not sure.
Okay.
A couple of them I had at the same time, even though we moved maybe 1 or 2 times with that same piano teacher in the same area.
Okay. And your great-grandparents kind of inspired you? What gave you that desire to, did you see the piano and say, hey, I want to learn how to play it? Someone already played it, and that's what made you want to do it?
Well, it had been at my grandfather's house in their basement, and somewhere in the house, and Matt and I would always play on it. When we were little, really little, we'd just, fool around on the piano. And my great-grandmother asked me, do you want to start taking lessons? I'll pay for them if we transfer the piano to your house, and then I'll pay for your lessons and you can learn. So it was mainly from her.
Wow, so it was a deal you just couldn't give up, and you've been playing ever since.
Yeah.
So you've been playing now for approximately how many years total?
15 and a few extra months.
Wow, that's excellent. And how old will you be?
I'll be 22 in June.
That's a really long time, and you play so well. And now I know that you also, like the other members of your family, sing, and I think since you're the oldest child in the family, you're probably the inspiration for all of your younger brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your singing and what you do.
Well, I'm a member of the adult choir at our church. I've been with that for 5 years. I'm the director of the children's choir at the church as well. I've been doing that for 3. I've sung with the worship team on occasion when they need someone to fill in for someone who's going to be out. I've done special musics with my brother Ryan and by myself and with my friend Melissa. I've done Christmas program after Christmas program after Christmas program, and a few Easter programs thrown in there, stuff at school. So I've done a lot of it.
That sounds like a lot. Now, is it fun when you're director of the children's choir working with all these young kids? And what are the ages of the kids? How many are there? What is it you like, how do you like helping them?
I have 20 kids in the choir. Rachel said 15 to 16, but it's actually 20. I've known them for many years now through the church, and I see them as my light and my inspiration in my life. They're really that's where I get my energy from. And
that's great.
I love being around them. I love working with them. The little ones who are just turned 5, and then my big girls who are 11, almost turning 12 now. So
that's great. So I'm sure you provide a lot of inspiration to them as well.
I don't know about that, but
I think you probably do. Also, I talked you into teaching piano a few years ago. So
yeah, you did.
how have you enjoyed, doing that when you're teaching?
It's really fun because you see like the light bulbs go off in their heads when they finally get something or they learn something new, and you see the smile on their face when they've accomplished something. It's
That's a big
really
thing,
good,
I
yeah.
think, too. Now, do you have a favorite song or songs or a composer that you like playing?
I would have to say my favorite composer is Jim Brickman. I can't play his stuff as well as Ryan can, but I enjoy listening to it. My favorite classical composer is probably Mozart, and my favorite would be for Elise. Classically, for piano.
Excellent Beethoven piece. Now, you're also big into music theory.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that? Because I know now you're attending County College for music theory, and I think you have even taught some music theory at the college as well. So maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, I knew that piano would be my future, and teaching music would be my future because it's so involved in it in my life. So when I started at County 3 years ago and started taking music theory classes with Dr. Gardone and Professor Bleezarde, it was a whole new territory and a whole new world that I'd never known existed. And it's just, I've absorbed all of it. I call myself the sponge all the time because it's just all absorbed into my brain, and it just comes naturally now after 3 years of doing it.
Wow, what made you want to be you play so well, but it's a good thing when you know music theory, because I think music theory helps you be a much better musician if you understand what you're doing. But
exactly.
I know that you're much further advanced than a lot of people are when it comes to music theory. So what is it that got your attention about music theory and wanting to really delve into it?
Well, I've always loved playing the old style classical composers like Beethoven and Mozart, but then you never understood why they wrote the song they did, the way they did. And when you break it down, note by note, beat by beat, chord by chord, it's like, oh, okay, now I understand why they did it that way. And you get to see what their inspiration was by how you break down the music.
That's a great answer. It's a very analytical type of thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And didn't you help out at one point for college?
Yes, it did. One of my teachers, Dr. Gorman, went on vacation to Korea. Why? I don't know, but he turned the class over to me for the week that he was gone, and I was able to teach the class.
And how did you enjoy doing that? And how did the other students in the class respond to you doing that?
They were a little taken aback. oh wow, Amanda standing in the front of the classroom, what are we going to learn from her? But we didn't really learn anything new that week. We were just continuing what we were learning, and some of the students did not understand it yet. So I was able to explain it to them in a more basic way than our teacher was at the time.
Now, did they seem to enjoy when you were teaching them?
No.
Or no?
No.
Did you enjoy the experience at least? Wow. So what are some of your future career plans? I know that you're going on now to Jersey City University.
Yep.
You were accepted, so
Yeah.
maybe you can tell us a little bit about that and what you had to do to get in.
Well, I had to audition for the music faculty lady, and that was a little nerve-wracking, but really cool. She has 2 grand pianos in her office, which I'm very excited about.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just, you know, I've always wanted to do music in my life. I always knew that it would be there, so.
That's great. I mean, now when you graduate college, do you want to be a professional music teacher at a college, at a high school? What do you think you would want to do?
My plan, if all works out, will be to get my master's degree in music theory and composition with a minor in music history.
Wow, that's very interesting, and like I said, I'm sure you're a great inspiration to all the people that know you. I believe even your boyfriend is a musician as well?
Yes, he plays guitar. He did not learn how to, he taught himself, and he's very, he's written 5 songs for me, personally.
Wow, very romantic.
They're all unique in their own way, so, yeah.
That's terrific.
I'm around it everywhere.
Wow.
I can't get away from it.
That's all right. I think music is a great thing. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in just a moment on Jefferson Highlights Community Television.
Help keep the light shining and the heritage alive. Support the National Lighthouse Museum as a member, a donor, or a corporate sponsor.
We're back, and we're with the Bleezarde family, a musically gifted family from Mount Arlington, New Jersey. And I'm back now with Robin and or most of the kids. We're still missing a couple of kids. Your family, very gifted musical family, and we've heard a bit about the background with the grandparents having the piano and playing. And now, do you play, or does your husband play?
I do not play piano. I always wanted to play the piano. I did not have a piano to practice on when I was a child, so I never took lessons. My husband took lessons for a long time, I believe until he was in 8th grade. His piano teacher would only let him play classical music, though. And then he just continued to listen to music and not play it anymore.
But you guys have always enjoyed music,
yes.
Because obviously your family plays very well. Tell me about each of your kids, maybe starting with Amanda, who's the oldest, because I think people would like to hear it from the mother, about each child and what their interests are, how they became interested in music, and what it means to you.
Well, Amanda already told you that she became interested in music through the prompting of the great-grandmother, my husband's grandmother, thought it would be a good idea for the children to start taking piano lessons. And so she was really the catalyst that got the whole thing rolling. She encouraged the children to take lessons, and of course Matthew, who's not here today, he's away at college. He started taking piano lessons also, and he really wanted to play the guitar though. So when he was in about, I think, 9th grade, he took guitar lessons from a man at our church, a gentleman that played in the church band, and within probably 3 or 4 months, Matthew had gotten it down and was playing guitar, and now he really likes to play the guitar more than the piano, although he still will play the piano.
Okay.
He was going to major in music at college, but the college that he was did not have piano as a major, or did not have guitar as a major, excuse me.
Okay.
And so he did not want to practice piano 2 hours a day. So he decided he would switch his major because he really wanted to go to that college. I do not remember how old Ryan was when he started playing. I think he might have already told you that, but he just seems to have a real gift. It's not just, with all of the children, I think it's a talent that they've been, passed on by generation to generation. But with Ryan, I believe Ryan has a real gift for music. That's a God-given gift, and we are extremely thankful and blessed to be able to have music in our lives. Benjamin and Rachel now have play. And I know that it was just a matter of time before, Lori, you start teaching Johanna and Sarah. With Amanda being away at college and so busy with work, she just doesn't have time to teach them like she started Rachel. Or perhaps Ryan would be a good candidate to teach his younger sisters some piano. And like he said, Sarah already gets on there and does little things. So.
Wow, and your family seems to work well together, so maybe when Amanda goes away to college and has the students that she has, maybe Ryan would be able to take over teaching them, because he seems like, he seems like he definitely has the ability to be able to do that, and the personality to do that. And I think also for your family, you all seem to either have perfect pitch or very high relative pitch, which for those watching who don't understand, that means that you have the ability to hear the correct notes if it's a song that you're playing, as opposed to playing wrong notes, like people who just sit down and play a song if they know the song and they don't need any music for it. They can just sit and play it, and maybe in part, I'm thinking maybe that contributes to Ryan and Ben being able to just hear the music in their heads, because I think that most composers who write music, you know, like even the classicals like Mozart and Beethoven, they may have heard it in their head, but they usually notated down everything they wrote. And some composers just wrote everything down and were able, you know, to play it. Whereas Ben writes, I believe, some music. He writes some music down, but Ryan doesn't write any music down. He just has the amazing mental capacity to do, how many songs was it? 15 songs, and they're not short little songs. I've heard him play, and they seem to me to be like 5 to 10 minute songs. So that's sort of like an amazing hard drive if you were a computer, that you could, you know, that you have the ability to do that. And what do you think about your kids going on if they wanted, you know, professionally to some type of music career?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. When Amanda started playing piano, all I really wished for my children was that they would have some music, they would be able to sit down, open up a book, and be able to play a song if they wanted to. Or if someone said in church one Sunday, uh-oh, the pianist isn't here, we need somebody to play piano, that they would be able to go up and open the book and just play whatever hymn we were going to sing that day. And it just seems now that they're all, you know, headed in a different direction than what I always thought it would be, which is wonderful. I think it's great. You know, some people are involved in sports, some people are involved in other things, but our children are just really involved in the music.
Well, I think that's fantastic, and as the audience has been viewing this, they're going to actually have heard the music that each of the four of you have played. They'll be hearing some of the music. Amanda, I believe, is playing some classical music, and I know Rachel has also played some music from her books, and Ben and Ryan's music is all original music that you will have heard that they composed. So I can kind of see a future music, not that they have to be a professional music major or a professional musician, but how do you think having that contributes to your lives, you know, as they become adults?
I think it's great that they're now going to have careers in music. You know, that Amanda's going to go on and be a piano teacher, or she is a piano teacher, but she has the ability where if she wanted to stay home with her children, she could teach piano at home, you know, in the afternoon after school, and she wouldn't have to go out and work, but she would be working at home, and it gives them the ability to do so many different things. Like when you were interviewing Ryan, and you know, you said, well, maybe you could play, you know, music for a commercial. I never even thought of that before. So now I see all these different directions that we could start, you know, helping him go in. And and if I could say, I would like to thank you for encouraging our children. I think that you've really helped them, and they've come a long way because of the encouragement that you've given to them over the last few years. And you know, you encouraged Amanda to start playing giving piano lessons. I don't think we would have thought of that. We probably thought, oh, you have to have a degree before you can start teaching piano. But she had the ability, because she had the background and the theory,
and Lori,
and to be able to start doing that. And now we're talking about Ryan. You know, he can teach a beginner, maybe not an advanced student, but a beginner. They could teach a beginner, and we just wanted to thank you for the encouragement that you've given to the children over the last 5 or 6 years.
Thank you. I really appreciate that very, very much. I'm glad you guys were all able to join me, and I wish you all much success, and hopefully I'll have all of your kids, even the younger ones, at some point.
I think you probably will.
Thanks. I really enjoy teaching all of you guys, because I do think you have great talent, and it shows, and you're all individuals, but you do a fantastic job. Hopefully together as well as a family. I know you're a great family. So thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Jefferson Highlights Community Television. I'm Lori Zook.